So I'm using the programming to help prescribe rehabilitation for them. I also work with older adults and individuals who it's your first time getting into an exercise program. And so you need some guidance on how to balance your training and how to structure the volume so that you're not underdeveloping and you're not overtraining and burning your body out. Hey guys, Dr. Will here from Miami Spine and Performance. So one of the things that I want to walk you guys through today is how I design my remote programming. So some of you may or may not know that since around the time of COVID, when people were working out at home and things like that, I've been prescribing remote exercise programs for a number of patients or clients. I typically cap the number of people that I work at around 15. And so I really haven't opened this up to new clients in a long time, but I am going to open up a few more spots for the fall. So if you're somebody that either is looking for a customized exercise program for yourself, maybe you don't know where to start, maybe you've done different programs and you've kind of gotten bored or you don't feel like there's enough specificity, or if you're somebody who is currently in an exercise program, so maybe you're working out at one of the awesome local gyms like Legacy, like Rumble, like F45, Orange Theory, but you want a little bit of extra to specifically address some of the maybe mobility or strength dysfunctions that you have that's not quite getting touched on in a group exercise setting, remote programming is excellent for you. Of the people that I'm currently working with, I am working with a number of high school and professional athletes. I'm working with a number of people who are gym rats who want to improve their strength and power, but also want to stay healthy and make sure that they're getting cardiovascular training in. I'm working with people who are rehabilitating from injuries and maybe they are not local. So I'm using the programming to help prescribe rehabilitation for them. I also work with older adults and individuals who it's your first time getting into an exercise program. And so you need some guidance on how to balance your training and how to structure the volume so that you're not underdeveloping and you're not overtraining and burning your body out. So what I want to do for you guys today for the first time I think ever is walk you guys through a typical exercise day that I program for a client so you can understand kind of how the app works as well as all the different things that are going to be included with your programming. Now, as I show you this program, keep in mind, this is for this athlete's specific goals. So I'm going to explain what this individual's goals were and how I structured the workout. Now, your workout would look completely different. I do not recycle any workouts. Everybody who is being given programming by me knows that their plan is individualized. Every single week they're getting different workouts, and we're regularly keeping in touch to make sure that they're meeting their goals and making modifications on a week-by-week basis, okay? So without further ado, let's get into the exercise program. So, every exercise program is going to start with a warm-up. Okay? Now the warm-up is going to be specifically designed based on some of the dysfunctions that I found in you. So maybe you need to improve your hip mobility. Maybe you need to improve the strength of your rotator cuff. Maybe you need to improve your core strength. This is a great opportunity for us to work some of that in. So in this individual, we were trying to work on core strength and shoulder stability. So prior to starting the workout, he was doing some side plank rotations where he was getting some great core and oblique activation as well as shoulder stability, and working some push-ups with shoulder taps. So we're starting to activate the shoulders and the upper body while getting in some good core work. The first strength training exercise I programmed for this patient was the T-bar row. Now keep in mind, for this particular client, he was somebody that had an extensive history of working out. He was already in great shape when I met him, but he was kind of burnt out on some of the programs he was doing. He wanted some variety, and he also was at an age where he wanted to kind of get away from just the old meathead routine and start to have a well-balanced program that he could follow for the next 20 or 30 years. So the T-bar row was his kind of foundational strength movement that I had him do. He was recording the amount of weight that he was using for each set so that we can use those in order to inform future programming. He was doing a rope lat pull down. Okay, so this is a kind of unique exercise that probably a lot of you have not done. This is an exercise we're going to improve shoulder range of motion as well as lat strength and end range. So if you're somebody that deals with that struggles with pull-ups and things like that, this is a great way to kind of get the upper part of the lat firing near the shoulder. Standing double arm face pull. So these two exercises were combined. So we're getting a nice lat exercise where we're getting a good stretch at the eccentric contraction, as well as a double arm face pull where we're working more on the rhomboids and the rear deltoids and improving shoulder health overall. So we have a primary strength movement followed by what I call accessory training, right? So we're trying to work the muscle from different angles, as well as make sure that we have balance throughout the shoulders. Seated row machine, very straightforward, except we're adding a 10-second isometric at the end. So he's doing sets of cable rows, but he's holding the last repetition for 10 seconds, right? This is going to help work on isometric strength of the shoulder blades as well as grip strength. So I think it's very important that we continue to improve our grip strength. And as you can see, we're not just plowing through back exercises. Each exercise has a specific purpose in the program. Here we have band pull-aparts paired with that. Band pull-aparts again. In this particular patient, he was a little bit overdeveloped in his chest and shoulders. His shoulders were rounded and he had a history of shoulder pain. So we're making sure that we're sprinkling in as much kind of shoulder prehab type stuff as we can. So here's a heavy isometric row exercise with, again, another sort of shoulder and rotator cuff exercise. Then we have good old arm training. Just because I am programming functional workouts doesn't mean I'm not going to give you time for bis and tris. Of course, not only for elbow health, but for aesthetics and overall strength balance. We're doing incline bicep curl combined with dumbbell spider curl. Now, this might look like just 2 random bicep exercises that I pulled out of a hopper, but the incline bicep curl, we are contracting the bicep from a fully lengthened position. So you're seated on a bench, your arm is fully extended, and you're actually in a little bit of shoulder extension. Whereas the spider curl, you are in shoulder flexion, and so your bicep is contracting from a shortened position. So this is ensuring that we're strengthening both the top side of the bicep and the bottom of the bicep to reduce the risk of any type of tendonitis or tear within the bicep. Now, this is the part of the programming that I kind of enjoy the most to program, which is the finisher. So in this case, the patient's already gone through primary strength balance exercise, and the bicep training. Now we're going to do some conditioning and really burn them out. So for 10 minutes, this person was completing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, ascending ladder of double arm bent over row, followed by the row machine. So we're really taxing the grip, we're taxing the shoulder blades, and we're getting the patient's heart rate up, okay? And then at the end, usually I prescribe some kind of stretching or cool down. In this case, this client had his own stretching routine he was doing. But as you can see, the programming is very unique. It's not just a simple bicep, tricep exercise you're going to get off of Instagram, but every single exercise and the way that everything is programmed together is structured very specifically. So again, if you are interested in remote programming, I, for everybody, offer a free week of programming. Okay, I offer very few sort of free things or promotionals or anything like that. But I do think programming, it's important that we do have a good fit for one another, because generally it is a long-term relationship. Fitness does take time. So if you're interested in a free week of programming, let me know or click the link below and we'll get you started.